Hey guys, Brett Weiss here with NEXA Mortgage, doing a special interview here today. It's actually going to be a recurring broadcast I want to do once a week, and it's called Getting to Know NEXA. And I've got a couple special guests here with us. It's the Francisco team, Paul and Joyie. Say hi.
Sorry, we have to unmute ourselves. Hello.
Hey, y'all.
Bear with us, guys. This is the first time using this platform, and we're learning on the fly here. So, anyway, really, what I wanted to do here today is introduce some big people, some very important individuals and partners here at NEXA Mortgage, because we tend to be so focused on the job, doing what's best for our clients and our real estate partners day in, day out. We eat, breathe, sleep this business, right? That we kind of lose our own identity at times. And people hear NEXA, they know about the amazing growth and being the fastest mortgage company ever, in existence. Now over 1,700 loan officers, guys. So, and that's all, everyone knows that. It's all over the internet. And don't get me wrong that, I'm personally, and we all are loud and proud of it, especially myself being one of the first 10 here, seeing this growth over the last 4.5+ years that I've been with the company. But at the end of the day, it's really, how did we get here, right? How did we get to be this juggernaut of a company, this huge, fastest growing company ever? And, how we did it was adding good quality driven individuals to join our team, maybe a husband and wife team here or there, right? But it wasn't by converting big branches and big teams and companies over to the broker channel like we are now today, right? So this show is really, to pay homage to each and every one of our 1,700 LOs who contributed to what we are today, and the opportunity to share their unique story with the Facebook and online audience, right? So guys, welcome. Obviously, first thing to do is, tell us about yourself. Let us know who you really are outside of NEXA, outside of your business, and, give me some background.
Well, we appreciate it, Brett. Thanks for having us. I'm going to let my wife take the first part of this question here.
So I'm Joyie Francisco. I have 5 children. I've been married to the love of my life for almost 18 years. I was a former school teacher. I taught high school and I coached before becoming an LO.
Yeah, and so Joy and
my mom was a school teacher, music teacher forever.
Awesome.
I play sax, man.
Yeah, saxophone, very musically gifted.
Right on.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Joe and I have this awesome privilege to not only be married, but and be best friends, but be business partners. And so I'm the branch manager, and Joy is usually the face of our team. As you can see behind us, we're the mortgage vet team. We're also a mini correspondent of NEXA called Axon. We actually met a long time ago, a little over 18 years ago, in the military. And I had been in for a long time and enjoyed this young gal of mine.
He always tells this story.
She introduced us and goes, "Hi, I'm PFC Jonas." And I just kind of giggled inside. I said, "Well, she's cute." So there's the story how we came together. And it wasn't very long after being married that I deployed to Iraq, actually. And then there comes the first baby. And then the second one came after deployment. And actually, no. The first baby was...
We had a bunch of kids. That's all you need to know.
Before I went to Afghanistan is when the first baby came. The second one came after Afghanistan. Okay. So anyhow, I have a full military career, federal background, 23 years. And, before we got to this business, as you heard, Joy was teaching and I was working for the government.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. I know, obviously, we know here at NEXA you both were veterans and you're part of vetted VA, and that's all great. But yeah, the storyline behind it is, what we were really trying to dig into, and I'm learning here just like everybody else. That's cool. And you guys have just recently done. I know I'm veering off a little bit, but just a little more on you guys. Recently, you were on a mission in Mexico, right?
Yeah. Last week I was down in the deep Sierra Madre Mountains, about 7,000 feet above sea level, looking down in the canyons, also known as Sonora Cartel area. But it was it was beautiful, and honestly, we were pretty safe. I was helping out some medical missionaries out there um, with the people they're working with at the hospital.
Awesome,
Yeah.
cool. So I guess the next thing is how long you've been with NEXA. I know I hired you, Paul, but you probably remember a little bit better than I do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I have been when finishing my federal service, I took a leap of faith. We had friends that were involved in the real estate and lending world for a long time who kept saying we would be great at this. We should consider it. And I was at the point where I was done working for the government. I was just done. I was ready, and with my medical elements from being in combat, I took a leap of faith, got licensed at a small brokerage locally, and it wasn't too long after that. My wife here followed me. She was still teaching at the time, but we were struggling because I just really didn't have the support. I was really more like someone who brought in more resource for that brokerage versus actually getting to do the loan officer jobs. And so it wasn't very long after that where I was thinking, well, I got 5 kids. I don't get my retirement yet. I got to do something where I'm empowered. And that's where I found your ad off of Indeed. And I just saw what NEXA was about. So I applied. And
It was February 2020 when you
started. Yeah.
But February 2020, and then what happened in March?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we came in. So we came in with a constant change. Had to learn in an environment not like status quo. Everything always done a certain way. I had to learn on the fly. But what was amazing, it was only 45 days. I tripled the business that I had already did. And that's when I came to my wonderful wife and said, "You need to quit your job. I need your help."
Like, you're nuts. You're nuts. This isn't going to work. But okay, whatever. If you screwed up, we're all going down with you.
Right. Well, you took the leap of faith, and Paul, and had the faith in Paul, and look at you guys now. It worked out.
Yeah, we're grateful.
Yeah. It's actually been a dream come true. In the military, in the Army, I came in when the motto was "Be all you can be." So I've always kind of lived by that. Like, what can I do to improve myself? What can I do to be better? And so I got empowered, and that's what I needed, and that's what we needed because we're 100% invested. Some people who come into this business new into the industry, they tend to want to have one foot in, one foot out, and usually, honestly, that's the people who are not successful.
Sure.
We had no backup plan. It was succeed or fail, and we weren't going to fail. So we had that hungry mentality coming in.
Right. No, absolutely. There's certain folks that are going to come into the industry or have and be brand new, of course, especially in this market. And the ones that have like that drive, the entrepreneurial spirit, all that sort of stuff will succeed. And, these are still the same folks that I still will recommend and bring on to NEXA, even in this market. But if I don't feel that they have the things like you just talked about that you folks have, I mean, it's just a tough business. And like you said, you can't half-ass it and, not be all in because otherwise it just is not going to work.
Yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted, for sure. You have to have that drive and willingness to grow and learn. And here's the amazing thing. I started in February 2020, but it was in April 2020 when Joy came on and I started a branch. I don't know any company out there. It don't matter if it's broker, retail, direct lending, any company out there where you can walk in the door essentially new, because I had only been doing it for 9 months, right? Essentially new, and be able to have that empowerment to really grow our business like it's our business. It's not some big company taking the business. We bring business to them. It's our business.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about NEXA is, we all know here, those of us, the 1,700 that are here, is that, we have the flexibility from ownership to run our business any way that we want. Obviously compliant and all that sort of thing, but you can go from the solo person that wants to work at home, self-process their loans and see it all the way through, to somebody that wants to make, big moves and do the team and the branch and, really grow it into something huge and everything in between. So, it's kind of, running your own business under the umbrella of NEXA, right?
And that's why we stay. Because believe me, anyone in this industry, when markets are constantly changing, you always know you need to be ready to pivot. And whether that's doing different loan types than you've done before, learning new products or whatever, or making sure that you're in the best possible place to be. I'm sure every loan officer who cares about their clients and cares about their business has looked at that right now and decided, hey, is this a great place to be while I'm grinding? Because there's grinding like, oh, you're working on it. And then there's grinding like, dude, I don't know where my next deal is going to come from, but if I get enough no's, I'll get a yes.
Sure.
So,
no, and absolutely every single one of those deals is so important, as markets shift and volumes do go down and units are tougher to come by. And so, you're always going to analyze that. Am I at the best spot? Can I close on time and not upset a referral partner? Because every single one of those is so important, right? And the customer's got to be happy at the end of the day and refer their brother and sister, right? Yeah. So, and, the whole package, comes into play more so now than ever. And I think it's a testament, like you said, and quite frankly, that's the reason I've never opened my own brokerage, right? I've got the ability to run my business here, just like you folks do. And I don't have that compliance headache. I don't have the audits headache. That stuff I can't stand, first of all, and how much time and energy and effort it would suck out of me, or the additional staff I'd have to hire and pay. And so it's just a no-brainer that you come here, you run your business the way you want to grow it into something larger, like you guys have the team and, doing really big volumes, and, staying put and letting everybody else, on the backside worry about that stuff. It just makes so much sense to me. So,
yeah, I think it's important to note too, like, I had no clue how all the legal and compliance and all that stuff to start a branch. But see, that's the great thing about NEXA, because we have the support in every department. And so that's what I did. It wasn't because I had all this knowledge and I'm so good, but it's because NEXA provides the platform and the support for you to ask the questions. Figure out what do I have to do for a licensing? What do I branch? Is there a location aspect to it where I have to be within so many miles? Does this state require a physical location and so forth? And for me starting the branch, it wasn't about growing into a big team. The truth is we just wanted to get business, and since we had contacts, especially through the military in different states who wanted to send us business, I just felt like it was a necessity to do. And I kind of fell into it in that sense. And then others within NEXA started to see the attraction behind it and approach me about it. And, really, I always say, like, there's no reason that we should be doing as well as we are, apart from the grace of God. The other aspect is, you got to be willing to meet everyone at wherever they're at, and have that heart of service behind it. And I think that the aspect of always looking to be better, and taking feedback, even criticism, and saying, okay, what can I learn from this so that I can personally grow to be better. And it wasn't until all this started happening that I realized, oh, wait a second, we can really do more things with this branch and team.
But we're no one special
Right.
in NEXA. Like anyone in NEXA can do anything. There is no glass ceiling. There's no one telling you, well, you can't, other than if it's a compliance issue or an ethics issue, and you work through those things. You want to be ethical, always are compliant, right? And the compliance department helps you with that. But at the end of the day, we're no one special. We didn't come in with a lot of our own referral sources. We're still building, in fact, our referral base, and we'll continue to do that. All good loan officers continue to do that. But we came in 2020, was a heyday for a lot of people. It was not for us. We did 65 transactions our first year.
Yeah. And this is an environment where you quote a rate and then 20 minutes later, that rate's gone. Right. So I started learning, well, let me ask the borrower what's best for them. So when it's there, I just do it and then notify them. So that's one of those learning points. And I think that's, when someone's studying to become a new loan officer and pass that exam, I think the best advice I got was, when you weren't quite sure of the answer, what is in the best interest of the borrower? And that helped pass the exam, but that also has helped our business. What is in the best interest of the borrower? You got to look at it not as a transactional thing, but you got to look at it. These are real people. These are real lives, and you have an opportunity to make a difference for them, for the greater good or for the worse.
And you help enough people, you'll make enough money. And NEXA is just an avenue to help people in the end.
Sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's all good stuff, guys. And you're right. It's always about the borrower. And if you act in their best interest, it all comes back to you by doing the right thing all the time. And Joe, you said 65 transactions in 1 year. And then last year, congratulations, you made the President's Club, I believe, right?
Cool. Yeah, we did. It was fun. It was kind of a full circle thing because again, we're no one special. We're not, we had no reason to succeed other than we're grateful, right? And you never give up. Like I have a little sign on my desk. It says, it's hard to keep someone down who never gives up.
Right.
So I tell people we get scrappy here at NEXA, but scrappy in a good way. Scrappy in, we come out swinging. We're gonna fight the market. We're not gonna fight anyone else. It's the market and making sure our borrowers are set up in the best financial place possible. Right. So that's what I mean by scrappy. It's okay. We get our hands dirty.
Yeah. I always like looking at our CEO. He's very passionate. A lot of people can have passion. I'm a very passionate person, but you can be passionately wrong, right? So it's how you channel your passion for a greater purpose, right? So everybody has their why. For our why is not just for our family, but we want to make an impact in our community. We want to make an impact for better. We want to make an impact for better things. And when people get attracted to good things, when they see people doing good things, they want to be a part of that.
Oh yeah, it multiplies absolutely when you surround yourselves with that, and people see and can feel and all the good things that are coming about. And yeah, absolutely, people want to be a part of it. And then it just snowballs. There's the synergy and all those things just continue to go and go and go. And you guys are a prime example of it. You know what I mean? This is 2.5 years into the business, maybe going on 3 for Paul, right? Something along those lines. And just amazing things you guys are doing there out in El Paso. So we're getting a little on time. I want to keep this 20-ish for everybody.
Yes.
Not, to bog everybody down. But so real quickly, couple last things. Now that you've been in the broker, you've seen everything front and back for quite some time now. You're excelling at it. What are a couple of the misnomers still out there about being a broker that you hear from some of the other channels?
I got a few. The biggest one is that you have no control.
Sure.
Okay. Think of it this way. Yeah. So think of this. When you work for a direct lender, what other choices do you have?
Right.
In our capitalistic society, competition is good. But when that file goes to that direct lender, you don't have any more competition. You don't have the ability to say, hey, this underwriter is looking at this income this way. We need a second opinion. You don't get that availability. Oh, you don't get to talk to your underwriter. Yes, I do. Every day. Every day, an underwriter is emailing me, and every day I get to say, hey, great. Yeah, we let the condition list was awesome. Or, hey, you missed this, and they're like, oh, yeah. Very good relationship with underwriters. And at the end of the day, when you work for a direct lender or a retail lender, you have one opportunity, one shot to get your borrowers in that little box. And that box sometimes changes. Right now in these market shifts, they change, right? And so I would never want to work for a direct lender. I will say it here right on this call, so hold me to it. I never want to work with a direct lender because I need choices. Competition breeds really great things for consumers. And so at the end of the day, I want to work for the consumer. I don't want to work for a lender. The consumer is my client. And the wholesale lenders that we work with, we are their clients. And that is how we win for consumers. Direct lenders, that's it. Once you get the loan, if it dies there, it dies there. There's no opportunity to change.
Yeah. Right.
Or
right. If we have an issue, you've got an issue with an underwriter and they still won't see it your way, they say no. It's like when you were a kid, you go ask dad after mom said no. We go ask dad another 160 times here at NEXA, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think is funny? I'm chuckling over here is we have 5 kids, and unfortunately, we're still dealing with the diaper stage. And it's like the difference between getting a generic brand or getting a Huggies, right? Or a Pampers, right? You get a choice who you want to work with and what's going to provide the best service for your borrowers and for you to work with. And that's amazing. That for me, sometimes there's just these special niches in some lenders that are better. And like, for example, we do a lot of veteran loans. We use specific lenders for manual underwrites because we know they're going to look at the guidelines correctly. And, that's one thing. I used to work for the Department of Veterans Affairs, and we're both veterans, and we love helping veterans. So we're passionate about that, and we know the guidelines a lot of times better than the underwriters. So we'll help them, and they'll listen. Mm-hmm. So, that's one of the things I like about it.
That's awesome. Good. So then in regards to a little more personal for you guys, how has partnering with NEXA uniquely changed your lives? What has it done for you, your family?
So we are sitting in a home we closed on in November with a 2.125% interest rate. Thanks to our, every lender gives their loan officers opportunity to take advantage of some discounts that they may have. And NEXA is no different if you have a loan officer loan.
But we don't originate our own loans.
You don't originate your own loan. You send that to corporate. They take care of it, and they take very good care of you. But the biggest thing is that we have 5 children. All of our children go to private school. Our last child is special needs, and he has an aide that we pay for to go to school with him. So he's not in public school. We can never do any of this. The home I'm sitting in would have never been possible on our teaching and government employee income. We've also given a lot of money to our church and been able to help support, medical missionaries, for example, and that's very near and dear to our heart. So we can, we feel like we're blessed to be a blessing, both in other people's lives and then also our children's lives, and give them the opportunities that we wish we would have had, right? So, I mean, and those are three big examples, but they're life-changing for our kids and life-changing for us.
Yeah, right. And I have one special story I just want to share. Like I said, I've deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan, and I had a battle buddy of mine that was with me both times. And we got through some really, really hard, tough times in combat, particularly in Iraq. And we were given the opportunity to do his loan for him. First home ever, with his adopted daughter, because his wife passed away, newly married. And it was a hard deal. My wife here personally labored months to get it done. And we drove 4.5 hours away to go to his closing. And the impact of that, people will never know what that meant to us personally, to him, because this is one of the guys that helped make sure I stayed alive and why I have a family.
Wow. That's really cool. So yeah, you guys are helping people day in and day out, right? Especially your veterans with, making their dreams come true and, giving them the best deal out there, in the mortgage industry. And then as a result of your hard work, you're able to fulfill not only your family, but the church, some missions, and help others even outside that scope, right? And without NEXA, probably not to the degree you're able to, right?
Yeah. And Brett, thank you. If you're watching this, my husband found Brett's ad on LinkedIn. And no joke, man. We're going to get a little personal, but we had taken out his little 401k to live off of for 6 months. We closed 4 loans. You can't support a family on that. And so we were at the point where we knew we needed to change something, and NEXA came at the right time, and we started closing at the right time. Yeah. So
I closed 6 in 45 days.
Yeah. So thanks, Brett. Legit, you really, we don't tell you enough, but you changed our lives.
Yeah, you guys are the ones doing it. It was just, I was there at the right time with the right opportunity for you guys. And I'm so glad that, you've had all this success, and it's a really cool story to hear. And I know you guys are going to keep on keeping on, and, just keep doing what you do, helping the veteran community, everyone there in all the states you're licensed in, and, even above and beyond, with the church and the mission stuff you're doing. It's great.
By God's grace, we'll continue.
Yeah. And I'll just give one shout out to my fellow Nexans. You could get one of these special apparels of President's Club and not have all the experience and everything. Keep grinding, keep encouraged. Know that NEXA is the platform for you to thrive. And if you need help, there's plenty in this company, including ourselves, who are more than willing to give you a hand so that you can fulfill the dreams that you've set out for yourself.
Well said, brother. Well said. Any last words?
Yeah. And last thing is, if you don't go to NEXA or you go somewhere else or whatever, remember, you are the brand. And our CEO will tell you this. People don't work with NEXA. They work with the loan officer, the local loan officer. You're in your community. Be in your community. Love your community. Be someone that is respected in your community. And at the end of the day, they're coming to you. They're not coming to NEXA. They're not coming to whatever place. But NEXA is an incredible platform to showcase you and how you can serve others.
That's awesome. Absolutely. That goes to our run your business the way you want under the NEXA umbrella, empowered by NEXA, right? So,
right.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, guys, I really want to thank you for coming on today. This was our first episode of getting to know NEXA with the Francisco team. So once again, guys, awesome story. I'm glad you took 30 minutes out of your lives, your busy lives with the 5 kids and all those loans to come talk to me about it. But I think we got some really good stuff here out today, and I think everybody's gonna really enjoy watching this and getting to know you better.
Awesome. Thanks, Brett.
We appreciate it.
We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right.